Okay, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before I begin with this lesson, I want to start by giving all praises to our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah Hakodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. And shalom to the Lord's elect and Akim, teaching His word throughout the four corners of the earth with all truth and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. And as you can tell by my voice, man, I'm a little under the clouds right now, but hey, let's get into it. Britain grinds to halt as 500,000 workers go on strike. 500,000 workers go on strike. And I like how they use grinds, right? Britain grinds to a halt. Let's get it. What is that, Ecclesiastes? Yep, Ecclesiastes 12 and 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened, right? And this is, going into, when really all jobs get shut down because of what's getting ready to happen, Jacob's trouble. And what we're seeing now is a precursor to that. And when I went into this, when I was reading it, just Britain alone kind of caught my attention because Babylon the Great stems from Britain, right? America stems from Britain. But let's get into this. A long-standing dispute over wages and working conditions came to a head on Wednesday as hundreds of thousands of British workers took part in what organizers said was the biggest day of industrial action in over a decade. Around 500,000 workers joined the day of mass action. Teachers, train drivers, university lecturers, bus drivers, civil servants, and airport workers marched out. The major discontent comes amid rampant inflation and years of stagnant wage growth, putting further pressure on Britain's long-ruling conservative government, which is grappling with the cost of living crisis. Same thing that's happening here in America, man. Same thing that's happening over here in Babylon the Great. The thing is that this is actually this is all happening strategically, right? Pressure from above, pressure from below. This is pressure from above. Hey, you can't, look at this. You can't go to your workplace because you got all the train drivers on strike. You can't go to school because all the teachers are on strike. Right? Airports, you can't travel anywhere. Right? And so with the cost of living crisis, this is all manufactured by Esau Edom. Right? That's like it, man. This is all manufactured because they're getting ready to come in and implement that CBDC. Believe it or not, that's why they're doing all this. 2 Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should gain advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And to show you that this is manufactured, let's get this article. Burst into flames, something with the unknown cause. Right. Basra, oh, there it is. It was a Basra one. And when you go into Basra, we know what Basra is. Come on. Right. Something. This is spiritual, man. Hey, the hopeful year that all things come to pass. Right. Let me see if I can just get into it. Yeah, Basra, Connecticut, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, an estimated 100,000 hens died in a weekend fire at the Connecticut farm owned by one of the country's largest egg producers. And if you know who was buying up these farms, let's get it. Bill Gates. Connection to Basra. Let's see. I actually want to see. I don't know. I want to see Bill Gates connection. I'm not too sure. To Basra Farms. Damn, put farmers. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, well, though I'm pretty sure he has his hand in it. You see, Esau Edom is manufacturing egg crisis, right? The prices are soaring in eggs. People are, paying extra top dollar for eggs now. This is all happening to put pressure on everybody, man. You know, and then not too much after, before Babylon the Great goes on strike, man. Everybody starts bugging out and fighting, over the prices and the wage gap and them not being able, to pay for a living and so on and so forth. Strategically so, right? Because Esau Edom, he has the power to do these things, man. And what's gonna happen is, with all this happening, he's gonna be able to come in as a hero, right? He's gonna come in like a hero and say, you see, we have this new currency. We have these new places set up where you can buy and sell. We know that there's a famine going on. We know there's no eggs. We know there's no food getting stocked up at the stores, right? Because the truckers all went out of business, so on and so forth. Take this charagma, and you can live in our smart cities. You can walk everywhere with that charagma. Right. Let's get down to this. British nurses are on strike. British nurses are on strike over pay, testing a healthcare system in crisis. Walkout Wednesday is how the Daily Mail described the strikes, calling it a general strike in a but name. Oh, it's like it. Calling it a general strike in all but name. The Sun tabloid dubbed the disruption lockdown 2023. And they also said it's going to be another, LD this year, man. You see, Esau Edom has his plans, man. Let's get this. Oh, how to say perform his plan. It's not something to that effect. Yeah. Job 5 and yo. Hey, this is Job 5:12. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. And what is their enterprise? That new world order. That all these nations are in league, right? Revelations 13, it's like it's 17. If I'm not mistaken, this is Revelation 17. Yep. Revelation 17 and 12. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. And the 10 horns are those Germanium made, the EU, the European nations, right? I forgot the names. You got Germania Minor, Germania Major, the French, the Greeks, and so on and so forth, right? But they're all in league with NATO and the EU. That's NATO and the EU with Babylon the Great. Verse 13, these have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast, right? So these all have one mind. Britain has the same mind, right? That's why all these other nations are doing it. China's doing it. But who's backing? Who's bucking up? Russia, the bear, right? Gog and Magog, right? Because they're gonna, hey, this actually chapter goes into it, man. These nations are actually gonna turn on Esau Edom because, because of the way they rule. Verse 16, yep, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, who shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So right now what we're seeing is these nations, follow after Esau, Edom. The same things that's happening here in Babylon the Great is happening over there in Britain, right? And it's happening all throughout the cross, through the cross of the earth, man. They're all implementing them little them shops where all you need is the palm. All you need is to put your palm, and you can pay for everything, right? So right now Esau Edom is what he's eating. Yep, fill his belly. Right now he's eating, man. 15. It's like at 20. Yep, Job 20:23. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So you notice Esau Edom is eating. He's filling up his belly, right? He's manufacturing a fake crisis, right? And soon he's gonna manufacture another PMic to bring in more draconian measures. And he has all these other nations falling after him, just for it to be his demise. And it's crazy because as prophets, hey, as I don't want to die, we be those men. We have, the foresee, right? We can see this before it happens through the scriptures, right? The Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So he doesn't realize while he's setting up, his new world order, so that he may be quote unquote successful with the implementing of the charagma through his mind, which is going to be through pressure of above, through pressure of below. He doesn't realize that this is why Russia is bucking up with them, man, because it's prophetic. While he's eating, Russia, Putin, there's going to be an evil thought in his mind that he's going to send out them nukes to you, bro, and you're going to catch him. Right? And you're going to catch him. You see, and this is why, let me get this. It's in the book of Isaiah. If I'm not mistaken. Isaiah. Or is it Jeremiah? Let me just type it in. No, it's Jeremiah. Because Jeremiah was prophesying the Babylonian Empire. So this is Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, right? They're following after Babylon the Great right now, as we're seeing. They're manufacturing their own inflation, right? Because the dollar itself, it doesn't even have any value. So when you put that into perspective and into consideration, there's no reason for the dollar to lose value if it's not backed by gold, right? And the Federal Reserve is a private owned company. So you see they're able to move around these numbers as they please, because what? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, Esau, Edom, as all of this. But what's happening is Esau, Edom, his desire is as Habakkuk 2:5 ties up perfectly with Jeremiah 51:7. Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, right? What did we just read? Jeremiah 51:7. The nations have drunken of her wine. Whose wine? Esau, Edom. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell. Right? Hell is the whole earth, the whole world. Right? And is as death and cannot be satisfied. This is why you think that, man, don't you think you have enough? Esau, don't you think that you having all the money and the control and owning all the banks and having your banks in all these other nations, but none of these other nations have their banks in Babylon the Great is enough? No, because what? The scriptures said so. Which is why he's going to push to, mark all of y'all, charagma all of you, because he wants more control, because he cannot be satisfied. That's his spirit. right? That's why he wants to put a damn C hip in your damn head, bro. In your head, in your hand, right? Because he wants total control. And even then, he's still not going to be satisfied. Which is why the Lord just, hey, they are those vessels fitted for wrath, man, because they just can't live. They're not normal people, right? But gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people, you see? Which is why he's that woman that rideth on the beast, because everybody takes orders, the EU takes orders out of America, And Habakkuk 2 and 4, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. You see, he's not a normal man, bro. He's weird, he's off. This is why he's doing the things he's doing. And this is why he's not even satisfied on just having the whole earth to himself, man. He has islands. He has this, he can buy, with the Bahamas. He can go out and do, build a city somewhere far away and, just bring his people, or, just have a family of just straight Rothschilds living over there. But it's still not enough for him, because his soul is not lifted up right in him. But the just, which be the elect, shall live by his faith, because we got to move according to faith in everything we do. And even more so in the times to come, man. Look at this. Brothers got to get ready for, jobs to, for jobs to be laid out, man. Brothers got to be ready to, walk out on faith. What he had IUIC called the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. You guys are some faith-based Israelites. Like, if that's a fucking this, bro, this thing is about faith. How are you gonna walk into Jacob's trouble knowing that Esau Edom at some point is gonna knock out all the food source, is gonna knock out all your jobs, is gonna knock out the internet, and so on and so forth, to the point where you're gonna have to literally be a pilgrim upon the earth? How are you not gonna have to walk on faith, man? Right? You see, this is why it's important and who you listen to in Israel, right? Because even in Israel, you got the 2/3, and then you got the false prophets, and then you got the true prophets. Same thing as before. So it's the same thing happening all over again. Those that followed the false prophets in the back then in the ancient world, well, guess what? They were born here again at this time to follow the same false prophets all over again. This is why you don't see Great Millstone having them damn unity camps, because the scriptures say so. The scriptures say, can two walk together lest they be agreed? You see, you don't have Great Millstone endorsing guns at camp, right? Endorsing a 501c3. It's endorsing that, brothers follow the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of their ability, but with the knowledge and knowing that the law, statutes, and commandments cannot save you, which is why you don't see us wearing fringes everywhere we go, because the scriptures say walk with wisdom towards those that are without. We're not in our glory, right? We're not in our, state to be able to follow all the law, statutes, and commandments, because, hey, if that's so, you people, you're the camps that claim that we need to be under, follow the law, statutes, and commandments to the T. Well, guess what? None of you guys can follow the law, statutes, and commandments to the T. And if you're pushing that means you're pushing the first covenant. And if you were to break the first covenant, if you're to break any law under the first covenant, guess what? That was, you'll be considered death, man. You would have to die. So you gotta, you gotta understand, understand, right? Okay, back into this, in this article, British nurses, yeah. Okay. Right here. Nevertheless, various workers, right here, have been on strike in mass since last summer, and since then, the scale of strikes has only escalated, because it's only going to escalate more and more, until really just the shit pops. Workers say they are underpaid, overworked, and that their actual salaries have not kept pace. There it is, with the rising cost for many years. So Esau Edom is what raising up the prices of, your monthly payments, right? Raising up the prices on, electricity, right? Gas, on, food, right? The dollar's losing it, quote unquote, losing its value, so on and so forth. But what is he not doing? Raising up your pay. Because this is the way he's gonna be able to come in and act like a hero with that CBDC, right? With that correct, well, the CBDC it's not the mark. The charagma is the mark. The C hit, the little device that they're gonna use to try to put it in you. That's the charagma. So, they don't get those mixed up. But the CBDC is what they're gonna use to implement that, charagma. Because without it, you're not gonna be able to buy or sell because it's gonna be a digital currency inside that little thing. And yeah, you got to take it if you want to buy or sell. And obviously, the elect are gonna walk on their faith and dip by being pilgrims, outcasts. Right, mid-level teacher salaries fell by 9 to 10% in real terms between 2010 and 2022. The government says it cannot pay teachers what they are asking because it would fuel inflation, which is already over 10%. You see, I want to get this video that the GMS. Hopefully, I can find it. Let me see. GMS. Let me see. Oh man, I follow his channel. Let me see if I can get it. Brothers were re-uploading it, man. It was to show y'all. You see, and it's crazy, the spirit just led me to, bringing this back all the way down to the charagma. And lately, the charagma has been heavy because we're at the end of this thing, man, and we're pushing to Jake. Understand that if you take that thing, that's it for you, man. You just mark yourself with your name. You just written your name on a nuclear missile, right? Which is why it's important, man. You truly get out of the image of Babylon the Great. Come out of her, my people, and make sure you're really in the spirit, man. Man, I can't. It's the Benjamin. It's a brother. GMS. Man. It was a beautiful video too. Technically, just so I can, a dude, he was I guess you could say a lesser luminary. He was, he's up there in the ranks of these elites. And so he said how the CBDC was going to look. He said that he went in, because all you hear is CBDC this, CBDC that. And he asked, what's the CBDC going to look like? And in shorter, and really all he said was that it's going to be something under your skin. You see? So, yeah, this is what's, the 500,000 workers being laid off. This is going to be a big impact, man. Soon Babylon's going to be the same way. Brothers are going to walk out on their faith, man, lose a job, and see how the Lord works. You're going to put your back on the Lord. And he wants this to happen. He wants you, Akim, to do that. He wants us to do this, right? Because everybody's coming into the time of the hour of temptation. And only the elect have that backbone, man. Have Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, that cornerstone, man. So, with that, I don't want to desire. This lesson was edifying. I want to close out by giving all praises to our power, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Rakah Kudash. Shalom to Lord elect, and you Akim pushing this word out the four corners of the earth with all truth and sincerity. Shalom.